Welcome back to Mike's Motorworks, and today we got a special episode. It's our first follow-up to our most popular video to date, Patch It or Plug It, and we're going to answer some questions that have arisen out there. You don't want to miss it. It all happens right now here on Mike's Motorworks. One of the things that you need to be aware of as a driver, and hopefully if you're in a situation where you're like, hey, I'm at the side of the road, you're in a safe position right now. But one of the things you need to keep in mind that there are some do-it-yourself kits that are out there, and there are some that are a lot more reliable or better than others, but should only be used in an emergency situation. And then there is the professional repair that needs to be done at a tire facility where you have tire professionals working on the tires themselves. Now, any visit to an auto parts store or even Amazon will reveal several different options for an emergency tire repair kit. Some of those options include plugs, include patches, include combination plug patches, and of course, various liquids or sealants. And there are things that you want to not use at all or are not recommended at all, at least by this guy and other tire professionals. And there are things that should be done in an emergency, and then there is the right way to repair them. Let's talk about the old can. Fix-A-Flat, the green stuff, slime. Now, these are cans that are sold on the idea that you spray some goop in your tires, and by the tire rotating, it will use sealant to plug the tire. And this is a great thing to use if you have a tubed tire. Now, modern radials on standard passenger vehicles do not have tubed tires. They are tubeless tires and radials. And if you use that stuff in the can, you'll end up with a whole bunch of slimy goop on the wheel, or some people use the term rim, of your vehicle, and that'll continue to throw things and stuff off when you get that tire eventually plugged or sealed or even changed out. Now, if you're thinking, hey, the tire guys should go ahead and clean that stuff off, usually they're trying to crank out the tires as fast as they can, and they're not spending time wiping off that slime. So again, in a situation where you are stuck on the side of the road, please, 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 you should not be using this stuff. This stuff is good for lawnmowers. It's good for tubed tires, and only for those tires in an emergency. Now, with regard to modern tire repair with passenger vehicles on radials, yes, the plug should be used for emergencies only. Emergencies only. That is it. Alrighty, and what a plug effectively is it's a cord that you shove down into the hole, and then you pull out, and then you cross your fingers that it remains sealed. Now, the National Highway Transportation and Safety Administration does not recommend use of these plugs for long periods of time. And in fact, they say that it could actually ruin the structure of the tire and cause failures later down the road, if you will, whether that's a month or a year later. Now, a lot of the people were posting on the comments that, hey, they went years and years and years running it, and that's fine. You guys got lucky, and that's awesome, okay? But in reality, these things are temporary, and they should be able to get you until you can get to a tire repair facility to get that taken care of. There's a lot of concern about blowouts, slow leaks, and tire separation when using these things. So again, that's not a rumor. That's not saying, hey, we were right. Those are just the facts. Now, in a few minutes, John's going to walk you guys through how to plug a tire, because that's something that we did not cover in the patch it or plug it. And when he does that, he's also going to show you the differences between a plug, a patch, and of course, the combination plug patch, which is what is recommended for the best tire repair. Next, let's talk about another DIY option. And this is something new that has popped up. You do an Amazon search and you'll see these things. Those are the ones where you use a screwdriver to put a screw-like plug into your tire, and you're kind of like, I hope it stays. Please, 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 do not use those. Do not use those. There is only one real, safe, reliable repair that can be done by the average user on the side of the road or at a gas station that should be done, and that is the tire plug. As mentioned earlier, I said that John was going to show you guys the difference between the plug, the patch, and the combination plug patch. So I'm going to turn it over to John.
So this is a string style. Like I said, I'm not a big fan, but this does do the job in a pinch. If you're stuck on the side of the road, yes, this will work. If you follow the directions, you will need vulcanizing cement. The other option is what is known as a patch. And it is an internal patch that goes on the inside of the tire, and you're patching the inside to prevent air from escaping. It's good. It's better than a string plug, and the reason is you got a bigger area to cover. So these do work better than the string. Next is what is known as a plug patch. It patches the inside of the tire, and it has a plug that goes through the tire. So you have multiple points of sealing. This is the preferred method of tire repair.
As a quick timeout here, I'm going to go ahead and leave a few links below in the description to various things that we've been discussing here in this video. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link for tire repair kits on Amazon.com, as well as the emergency plug kit, because we don't recommend using the other stuff. And then I'm also going to go ahead and leave links for the notes from the NHTSA and for John's own YouTube channel that he's taking with a more technical approach, if you will. Make sure you like his videos and subscribe to his channel, because there's no telling what he's going to come up with when he's doing his recording at the shop. Now, patch repairs are better than the plug-only repair. However, the problem that you run into is that because it's a patch, it does not completely seal the puncture. In other words, water and moisture can get into that hole and start deteriorating their tire before the life runs out. So it is not recommended by the NHTSA. Now, what is recommended is the plug patch. And we, of course, covered that in Patch It or Plug It, our most popular video to date. So feel free to watch that section again. But again, it does take a technician to go in, remove the wheel, remove the tire, and insert the plug patch and make sure it's glued correctly.
Any tire repair in the center can be done. Anything on the outer sidewalls, outer tread to the sidewall, is non-repairable or non-patch. I don't plug. DOT recommends anywhere in here because getting out here, it is not guaranteed to fix and more prone to leaks, which can be low tire pressure and create accidents.
I have a quote, our tire repair policy, and this was taken from a random tire repair facility, and I wanted to make note of a couple of different things. Yes, a tire facility may say no to a plug patch with certain conditions. John already showed you regarding the wire or cords that are showing in the different zones. However, they may say no if the tire is over 6 years old, if the tire is worn on any area below 4/32 of an inch, if it has any damage on the sidewall, like there's bubbling or any kind of shown damage, if it's been driven while flat, and there's clear indicators when it's been driven while flat, or if the tire has a puncture larger than a certain size. Now, some say 1/4, some say a little bit smaller. Honestly, it's up to the tire repair facility as well. So now we're going to turn it over to John, and he's going to show you how to plug a tire.
When doing a plug style repair, you need a couple of things. One, a reamer. You'll need a tool to get whatever you have, nail, screw, whatever. You need a reamer. They call it a plug stitcher, and that's exactly what it is. Make sure it has a cut here, that way it'll slide out. The last thing you'll need is vulcanizing cement. So this manufacturer recommends putting a light coating of vulcanizing cement on the plug itself. And basically what that does, whoop, that's way too much. Basically what that does is, one, it does help it slide in a little bit easier, but it is also a cement. So when it cures, it hardens, it seals better. So let this cure for a few minutes, 3-4 minutes till it gets tacky. Because this is for demonstration, we're not actually putting this on the road. I'm going to go ahead and do this process. So we've got the reamer done. You get the reamer in 4 or 5 times, pull it out, take your stitcher. Once the vulcanizing cement has cured for a little bit of time, goes in. Okay, then comes out. Okay, very simple, very easy to do on the side of the road. And you could actually see, you see that gap right in there? That is a potential for air leaks. That is why I do not trust these.
So that concludes this episode of Mike's Motor Works. And if you like what you have seen, don't forget to hit the subscribe button on this side, not this side. Thank you so much for watching.